WRSR, Owasso, Flint. The following program has been pre-recorded and is paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc. Welcome to Discover Flint Township, a program showcasing our local community. Flint Township is ready for your next move. And now, your host, Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director, Tracy Tucker.
Good morning. This is Tracy Tucker, and this is Discover Flint Township, brought to you by Flint Township Economic Development Authorities, HAP, Financial Plus Credit Union, and Shea Automotive Group. We're wide awake, and we hope you are too. This morning, we are speaking with Tyler Rossmaessler from Flint and Genesee Chamber of Commerce. And we'll start a new segment that we will have every Sunday, our Business Spotlight. And we will talk more about that later. But let's get started with our first guest. Hey, Tyler, how are you today?
Hi, Tracy. Doing well.
Good. Why don't you introduce yourself and let everyone know what you do at the Chamber?
Well, first of all, good job on my last name, Tyler Rossmaessler. That's a difficult one. So I'm the Director of Economic Development at the Flint and Genesee Chamber of Commerce, and that means that I work with businesses every day to try to get them to stay here. The companies that are not here, we want them to move here, and we want everyone to grow and expand and be successful.
Well, that's right. We want them to move here.
That's right.
And especially in Flint Township. But since you're from the county level,
yes,
we'll expand that to Genesee County.
That's right. Well, Flint Township's an important part of that.
That's right. So, we've worked together in the past a lot. And so actually, I struggled with Tyler's last name for a long time. So that's why he's complimenting me for getting it right.
No, it's all good.
But so what we've worked together in the past, like I just said, and on projects, bringing projects to our area, which is very important, brings jobs. We've worked on job fairs together, that type of thing. But what is it that you're working on now? What's your big project that you're doing right now?
We're working on an effort called Forward Together. And this has actually been a year-long effort that we've done countywide. We've been trying to put together a countywide vision for economic vitality. What does that mean? And what are we working toward on a county level?
Sure.
And we're really excited because we've finished it. We've finished our studies. We've worked with the community. We've gotten some input from folks. We did a survey. We've looked at plans. We've looked at best practices. And now we're ready to roll out our vision and how we're going to keep ourselves accountable to that vision.
Sure. I mean, that's a long road to hoe.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's important, though. It's important.
Right. So, you worked with everybody. So how do you move forward on this?
Yeah. Well, right now we're going to do radio shows like this. Tell people about
Great.
it. But if I could, I'd love to just share what the vision is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That's why we're here.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
So we can go forward together.
That's right. Forward together. Thank you. Our vision that we're going to commit to is by 2040. So that we really finished this the end of last year. So about 20-year vision. Now it's 19. The clock is ticking.
Yeah, exactly.
2040, Genesee County is a top 5 community in Michigan for jobs, talent, livability, and equity.
So the goal of this project is to be top 5 in Michigan. So why top 5?
Genesee County is the 5th most populous county in the state of Michigan. So we want to live into our top 5-ness, if you will, if that's a word.
Top 5-ness.
Yeah. And there are 83 counties in Michigan. So we have developed a scorecard, a dashboard that ranks us in a few specific areas to see how we're tracking towards our top 5-ness.
Oh, I like it. So we're going to track our top 5-ness. I like it.
Yes.
So, and now is that dashboard? Well, we'll talk more about that later. Let me talk about what you found out because you're tracking it now. Did you find anything that surprised you?
We learned a lot about ourselves. We learned, people say things like, this is a resilient community. And I always think,
what does that mean?
What does that mean? And that's just like a back way of saying you don't know what else to say.
Right.
But we found out we're a resilient community. And what that meant, and we have data to support it. And what that said is, during the Great Recession, we did our study before COVID. So I can't
Right.
speak to COVID. We're still in it.
Yeah, exactly.
But in the Great Recession, while lots of folks were losing their jobs, there was an uptick of job creation, not job creation, business creation, and entrepreneurship activity. That, to me, says resiliency.
Yeah. Do you think that was people who had been in jobs and they found that they could do something else to make money? Do you think that's what it was? It's just a shifting of the landscape?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I've seen a lot of that myself, and I've wondered about that, of how many new entrepreneurs are going to come out of, necessity breeds invention type thing.
And the other thing we saw is interesting. We looked at Etsy data, the website, Etsy.com, and what...
My daughter loves that site, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of people do. And there's a lot of entrepreneurs from our community on that site.
Yes.
And so we were able to see what type of projects they're in. We are in crafts. We are in food and beverage types of industries. Creations, yeah. So it's really interesting data to look at as well.
Yeah, that's neat. That is, that is one of those things that people don't think about is... With the COVID, everybody thinks about the businesses that are here. They don't think about new businesses coming up. No. And I'm like you. I've seen a lot of changes.
Yeah. And we entrepreneurship and business creation is so important to economic vitality. Sure. In this county, in this township, and everywhere.
Well, and it has. We have a. I don't know if it's a business. It's not really a business. I mean, it's a venture. I guess 100K Ideas, which is in the Ferris wheel downtown
Flint. Yep, and that's there's a couple things going on there, but one of the things they have is 100K Ideas, and it's a way for people who have an idea to test that idea, and college students from Kettering and U of M Flint, and even some from around the state or around the country work there, and for $200 they'll take your idea and run it through some processes to test the market
and help you bring it to an actual business, bring it forward.
So it could be an idea like I have a new widget, or it could be I have an idea for a nonprofit, or it could be I have an idea for a restaurant. There's lots of different ideas. It doesn't have to be a new whiz bang thing.
That has been one of those success stories that down there, and they've created or helped entrepreneurs create some successful ventures. It's been great.
And what I love is that you bring that up. It's obviously not in Flint Township, but it's a resource available for folks all over the state, but frankly, all over this county.
And our residents. Our residents can use it just like the residents of the city. Yeah. And what happens in Flint Township affects its neighbors, just as what happens in Flint affects its neighbors. So if we're all looking to be successful, we want our neighbors to be successful as well. Yeah. So let's get back to why we're here.
Yeah, forward together.
Let's move this forward together. Yeah. You have your dashboard. Yes. And what in the dashboard do you find most significant, if there is one thing?
Well, first I'll say is, if you're listening to this on the radio and you're near a computer or a mobile device, go to forwardtogethergenesee.org and you can see all this data and the dashboard right there. Awesome. But on the dashboard, there are 5 key metrics. And then there's a community scorecard, and I can talk about that. The 5 key metrics we want to measure ourselves towards our top 5-ness, like we've said, are average wages, net in-migration, educational achievement, GDP growth rate, and family poverty rate. Okay. Those 5 things every county in the state of Michigan measures, and we can give ourselves a rank on how we do. Okay. But what we thought was, with these 5 things, there might be some nefarious ways to reach that top 5-ness. So we wanted to hold ourselves accountable that we're not just pushing people out. Right. But for example, with poverty, you could lower the poverty rate by pushing people who are in poverty out of the community. Right. That's not the goal.
Instead of help lift them up.
We want to raise them. Right. We want to raise them out. That's how our goal is to raise our score in that, is to raise people out of poverty. So the community scorecard is a way that holds ourselves accountable to some of those things. So we don't have to talk about that. Folks can look at the website
Sure.
to see all the data, but we're going to be tracking all of this. Your question was what I found most interesting. The net in-migration. We are 78th out of 83. That's not about population. Population is generally about deaths and births.
Right.
More people being born than dying, that
Right.
will be a rising population. Net in-migration says how many people are moving out of the county versus moving in.
Right.
And we lost 1,000 people between 2017 and 2018. That
Wow.
put us to 78th out of 83, which is bad. And by the way, Michigan is bad at this anyway. So we're one of the worst in a worst.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's
so
not
what are
good.
we good? We want to know
Yeah.
the good thing.
We're good at average wages. I mean, we're in the
Yeah.
top echelon in average wages.
Awesome.
And so that's good, but we got to solve this net in-migration problem.
Right.
That's blinking red for our schools. If we want to fix our schools, we need more people. If we want to fix our roads, we need more people.
Right.
If we want to attract, you and I know this, if we want to attract good business,
Right.
we need
You
to
have to
have
have talent.
We have to have talent. We have to have
Yeah.
people. So we got to fix that. And I think that's a lot about the quality of our place. It's not just about job creation. It's like, are we making our communities great places to live and work and play?
Yeah. What's that circle? It's what is it? Business needs talent, talent needs place needs business.
Yes,
so it's a
this
big
idea.
circle, and
Yeah.
it's the idea that if you attract people, you will attract the
Right.
business. You know, if you build
I mean,
it, they will come.
I think so in the world of economic development that you and I live in,
Yeah.
people are like, go attract business, and they think you just got to give them tax breaks and grants and things.
Right. No.
But their decisions about that are so much more complex. They're looking
Right.
at, where can I find a skilled workforce?
Right.
And that's where I want to be. That's why people go to Silicon Valley, where it's high taxes
Right.
and high prices, because there's a perceived high quality of talent. Well, so if we're flipping that script, how do we attract people? And it's with our place, with our community, with the
Right.
exciting things to do and places
Right.
to live.
And I think that's why a lot of places like Flint Township are working on community outreach, like this program, but
Mm-hmm.
also on community events, placemaking, those types of things. So you have the vision
Mm-hmm.
that you've built.
Top 5 by 2040.
So you have a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so how can local communities and the residents here help your organization achieve this goal? Is there a way for them to do that, or is this something that's a deep dark secret?
No,
it can
it's
only
certainly
be done
not
at the county.
Right. No, it's certainly not. It's Forward Together. We're all in this together.
Exactly.
So the first thing, go to the website, forwardtogethergenesee.org, and watch our progress. The second thing is, to the organizations you're in, the people you elect, let's see how they're talking about things like net in-migration, average wages, GDP growth rate. And we want to have, so everyone is working towards the same goal. We want to be a top 5 community in Michigan by 2040.
And I think it all starts with knowing what you can't fix a problem if you don't know you have a problem.
Right.
You know, it's like my mom used to say, we were dirt poor, but we never knew it because everybody else
Right.
was too, So if you don't know there's an issue, it's hard to
That's why
solve
the
it.
ranking, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I like that.
Right.
So what's next in this process?
So we at the Chamber are going to continue to monitor these goals. We're going to continue to do our efforts to help advance them. We're going to be standing up a team in our office about solely focused on attracting talent to Genesee County. And so
Nice.
that, like I said, so net in-migration was one of those things blinking red at us. We got to come up with some stuff to fix that.
So, we have some wonderful universities and colleges in our community. We're Kettering and U of M Flint, and I know MSU has buildings here. You have Mott. Did I mention the big 4? That's right.
Pretty good.
So I'm venturing to guess here that they worked with you on this, right?
They were involved, yeah.
Yeah. And so they're going to be probably prominent in trying to attract.
It certainly is helpful
Workforce.
for their universities. At Kettering, they want folks to know that this is a great area to come and get educated. At U of M Flint, same.
Oh,
and,
wait, I tell you, and my mind wanders, so, Kettering, aren't they doing some big project this year? Like $63 million or something around there?
I think it's called the Learning Commons. They're adding a new building on campus. Yep.
And that's awesome.
It's going to be really pretty looking.
That looks so different down there. You know, my dad worked at Chevy in the Hole years ago. And I grew up over around that area. So I go through there and that building's gone. It's totally different.
Yeah.
And it looks great, but I'm glad to see they're investing. So I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. I'm just saying that you're exactly right. This is important to them too. And it's obviously they're attracting students, so they want this place to be attractive for them too.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of time left, so I'm going to ask you, because Tyler not only works on economic development, and the Chamber works on that. They work on workforce development and those types of things. We work with them, but they are also a partner with MEDC, as well as Flint Township is a partner with MEDC. But because they're regionally located, they help with a lot of the grants and stuff that we had out there for businesses to get those out there. So I know you had the Spread the Cheer contest in December for our businesses, but what other programs did you have in 2020?
We had several grant programs that started with the relief program, which came down from the state. We helped administer that. Then we said that was really important to support our local businesses. We raised some money from some local philanthropic and organizations to give us some money to give out to small businesses. So we partnered with the C.S. Mott Foundation, Consumers Energy, and the Ruth Mott Foundation. Sure. So we did a local restart. Then the state said, hey, what they did was a really good idea. Let's do a Michigan restart. I think they stole our idea. Yeah. So we did a second round. And then we ended the year with a Spread the Cheer contest, which was really fun. And it's smaller, but it was just an opportunity to celebrate some of our cool local businesses.
And do you have any programs for businesses out there right now that might be struggling?
If you are a small business owner or you know somebody that is struggling, I would have them check out our website. We have a thing called the Small Business Help Desk. There's a list of resources, but there's also somebody you can call and talk to, and her name's also Tracy Joseph. And she will help you navigate what resources you need and who to go to, if it's a loan or a grant or business planning or 100K ideas like we already mentioned.
Yeah, and that website is what?
FlintandGenesee.org.
Okay, FlintandGenesee.org.
And look for the help desk, the Small Business Help Desk.
Yeah, so, and go on there often, because if they have new programs, or you can watch our Facebook page at Flint Township Events. We've been putting information out there on those things, and you can also visit flinttownship.org, and we have grant information and COVID update information for businesses. This has been great, and I'm probably going to have to bring you on again to talk about more of this stuff.
Sure.
It's been awesome.
Thanks, Tracy. And thanks for having me.
But you know what? Before we go, you got like 1 minute. Is there any big message you would like to get out to the listeners?
We started out this conversation talking about what surprised me. I think with COVID and everything, I continue to be surprised by the entrepreneurial spirit in our county and our communities. We're getting through this pandemic, and I know it's been really tough. But folks are getting through it, and we want to be a resource. I know you want to be a resource. So anything we can do to help, let us know. And we want to help these businesses be successful here.
Okay, so let's go one more time. You have forwardtogethergenesee.org is the website.
For the Forward Together vision in the dashboard.
Right. And then flintandgenesee.org for the Small Business Help Desk and other resources available for small businesses. Okay. Is there a phone number they should call?
There probably is. It's on the website. I can't quite remember it. I barely remember my own phone number.
That's fine. fine. That's so funny. So, we've done a lot of work together with you and the MEDC, and, they've both been great help. And I'm so glad that you came out today. And we want to thank Tyler for joining us today. And every week we'll be featuring a new business or a current business that's here in the area. We're going to spotlight them. And coming up next, we're going to speak with Carmen Skidmore from one of my favorite businesses, Curtis Flowers. So we're going to have Carmen come in, and thank you, Tyler, for coming in with us. We've enjoyed it.
Very fun. Thanks, Tracy.
Hey, Carmen, how are you today?
Great. Thanks for having me.
I wanted to bring a new business in. We're doing this business spotlight, and so we wanted to let you guys get the ball rolling. So we have Carmen Skidmore here, who is with Curtis Flowers. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do at Curtis Flowers?
Well, like she said, my name's Carmen Skidmore. I'm part of the family. The real name behind it all is Gavelick. It's my mom and dad had picked up the business and kept the ball rolling for lots of years. And my brother Larry and I are still going strong with it, and have a sister that's still part of the business with us when she's available. But my job, I'm not the creative one. I'm behind the scenes taking care of all the book work and what have you. But being part of the family, growing up in it, I've got the knack for everything. So
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. It's so nice when you have family-owned businesses and to see the kids come in and take it over. So did the business start with your mom and dad?
No, my dad bought it from the Curtis family back somewhere in the 60s. So Curtis was a long-established name in downtown Flint, and we stayed there for a lot of years. We've only recently moved out, and I say recent, but it's more like 20-some years now that we've moved into the township. So
right there on Corona Road near Dye, across from Proclean and Kroger. Everybody probably has seen it, across from Shea Automotive, one of our partners on the show. So, you moved there about 20-some years ago. I know it's been a while.
Yeah. I think it was about 1998, so about 23, I think.
Yeah.
Like
there
that.
you go.
Yeah.
And so you and your sister and your brother run it pretty much now, right? Yeah. And so I know it's obvious in the name, Curtis Flowers, that you have flowers, but do you have gifts and stuff there as well, right?
We do. We have a large line of angels for both inside and outside, wind chimes, memory benches, plants, pretty much everything you can imagine. So
I have bought. We had a good friend who had a child pass away, and my kids knew the boy, and still touches my heart to this day that the kids wanted to get this bench, and they and their friends went out and bought rose bushes to plant next to the bench for this family on their property. And it's just one of those memories that you never forget, and it really touched that family to receive something like that. So those are great. Wind chimes are wonderful.
Yeah.
And then, I just bought some flowers from you guys recently. You have specialty containers.
Yes.
It was an old truck, a Ford truck.
That's right.
Those people were fighting over who was getting that truck. I'm telling you what, it was so funny. I was like, oh, well, that's good. I'm glad they liked it.
Yeah.
So, also, are your hours, with the COVID, as my kids call it, the COVID, have your hours changed or anything like that? What's going on with that?
We have changed our hours, unfortunately. Fortunate we're still in business, I guess.
Right.
But no, we used to be an 8 to 6 day, 5 days, 6 days a week, excuse me. Now we're doing more like 9 to 5.
Okay.
It's expanded. When we first started coming back around Mother's Day, we were still shorter in hours. We weren't even doing Saturdays, but the demand's increasing. Right. And so we're here to serve our customer base, and We're even going to be open on Valentine's Sunday.
Awesome.
Some people, you think, well, you're not open on
Last
Sundays,
minute, yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be there on Sunday, February 14th. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. And they can always order online.
Online
at
is
curtisflowers.com, right?
Yep.
And then where should they call if they want to order by phone?
Give us a call at 720-5181, area code 810, of course.
So 810-720-5181.
Exactly,
Awesome,
yeah.
awesome. So yeah, you mentioned you got the big holiday coming up. How busy are you on Valentine's Day?
Valentine's, we get a run for our money. It's the day. Nobody wants things the day ahead. They don't want it the day after. It's Valentine's Day.
Exactly.
We like to try to stretch it out if we can. This year being on Sunday, it's going to be different. But, it's still fun if you want to send something in advance to the office, if somebody's in an office setting, or just to have it a little longer than that one day. So.
Do you guys normally do any specials for Valentine's Day? I know there's special flower arrangements, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, Cooler's going to be stock full of our talented designers' creations. Telefloral, the national affiliate that you'll see advertised on TV or in papers, wherever you might, internet.
Sure.
They offer some specialty containers geared strictly for Valentine's Day that we have picked up and have in the store. So, yeah, there's lots of good things out there.
That's wonderful. And you guys have such a great business. And if anybody wants to find out more about Curtis Flowers, you can visit their website at curtisflowers.com, or you can stop in and see Carmen at 5200 Corona Road, or you can call and order at, go ahead and repeat that phone number one more time.
810-720-5181.
Awesome. So, I want to thank you for joining us for our first business spotlight. Maybe later in the year we can have you guys again.
Yeah.
But I want to remind everybody that even though their hours have changed, you can go online and check and see if they're open. And they will be open on Valentine's Day.
The big day.
All right. Thanks for coming, Carmen.
Thanks for having
you.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks. So I'd like to remind our listeners, if you have any questions for us, please email discoverflinttownship@gmail.com or visit us on Facebook at Flint Township Events. And we have our three sponsors, HAP, Financial Plus Credit Union, and Shea Automotive Group. We want to always thank them. But we have coming up next week, we have HAP, and we have our business spotlight will feature Genetech, a great new company that's operating in the township. But for today, I want to thank Tyler and Carmen for coming in. I still got Carmen here with me. It's nice to have people live with me because my mind kind of wanders, and when I get eye contact with people, I don't wander as much. But we want to also talk about next week. Like I said, we have HAP. The following week, we'll have Financial Plus Credit Union, and the following week, we'll have Shea Automotive Group. And we're going to have special guests every week. Again, we want to try to help some of these local businesses get their message out there. And so we will have that going on every week. So stay tuned to hear those things. And also, what was I forgetting? I know I forgot something, and now I can't remember. Oh, me! Yes! That's what it is. Okay, if you need to get a hold of me, you can go on flinttownship.org or discoverflinttownship.com, and you'll see my name, phone number, email addresses, all those things. But if you have a question for the radio show, you can go on discoverflinttownship@gmail.com. You can visit us on Facebook at Flint Township Events. And so we can't wait to have you listen to us next week. And, on YouTube, you can go to our YouTube channel, Discover Flint Township. So for now, though, I would like to remind everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, shop local, buy local, and discover Flint Township. We'll see you next week.
This has been Discover Flint Township with Tracy Tucker. For more information, visit discoverflinttownship.com. Flint Township is ready for your next move. The preceding program was pre-recorded and was paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc.